I caused a mini flood in my school's bathroom because of a superglued faucet. I was in 3rd grade and had to use the bathroom. It was near dismissal time, but the teacher said it was fine. After using the bathroom, I washed my hands in the sink, but when I tried to turn the faucet off, it just wouldn't. It was stuck like it was glued on. Soon the water just kept flowing out of the sink. The water won't go down the sink anymore. I was mindful of the time I had in the bathroom because people might think I was pooping. I went out the bathroom to look for help or a janitor, but it was already dismissal time, so I just let the faucet be, wishing that someone would find it and ask for help. The next day, while I was walking to go to our room, I walked by the bathroom to find 3 janitors cleaning. It was flooded, the water reached my ankle. The people in front and behind me pulled up their pants. I have never felt so embarrassed in my whole life. I told my mom about it and she told me to tell our teacher, so I did. I had to do school service and clean 3 rooms along with 3 other kids who were a year above me, who put super glue near the faucet. Not gonna lie, I was kinda glad that I wasn't the only one cleaning those 3 rooms. I've been exploiting a website's design flaws for years to guarantee I get extremely limited releases every launch. A couple of years ago, I noticed that one of my favorite companies who regularly does very limited runs of collaboration products had a giant exploitable flaw in their code. To summarize, all they do for a launch is add a Add to Cart button to the product page that otherwise just says Coming Soon, where the button should be. I realized that I could use Google Chrome to grab an Add to Cart button from another product, modify the respective code with the unreleased product's ID number, and suddenly I could add the limited products to cart. At product launches, I load my cart up with everything I want an hour or so before, go through the checkout process and stop right before submitting my order. Then all I have to do at the moment of launch is submit my order. I'm ahead of server crashing traffic, and have never missed owning a wanted limited release. I've never been caught. Every time I tell myself they'll have fixed it or they'll purge shopping carts before release, but they never do. My fellow fans of the products just think I'm super lucky and have good internet. I keyed my neighborhood friend's dad's car when I was 12. So, I had a friend for a long time, but he became a bit of a douchebag as we got older. He would suck up to the popular kids and leave me for shit. Pissed me off. Whenever we had a date set, I would wait hand and foot for him to ring our doorbell. Sometimes they wouldn't even show up if I knocked on their door. His dad never liked me for some reason. Barely said a word to me, but their mom was really nice. One time I asked them to go to the pool and they said they weren't going. Later in the day I went with my other friends and saw him there with his dad. A couple more instances similar to this that really made me angry. Eventually I got a key and scraped it along his dad's car. I left some very large invisible lines along the entire left side of the car. The worst part was that I didn't feel bad about it. It felt good and thrilling. Now that I haven't seen him for years, I feel super guilty. I found heroin in a liquor store parking lot and snorted it. Friday, just got off work, stopping at the local liquor store for some White Claws. Pull in and hop out of the truck, and between my feet is what looks to me as 2 small Coke bags. I pick them up, throw them in the truck, and go in and get my claws. For some backstory about my drug use. I smoke weed when my wife isn't around, I drink every weekend, and that's really about it. Nothing prepared me for this. I took a small bump of this mysterious white powder off a razor blade I found in the truck and I thought it was Coke. I felt good. Drove home and say hi to the wife, give her a kiss, take a piss, and talk about where we are going for dinner. We decided on a local pizza bar spot and she runs off to get ready. I decided to do a little more. I mean, I'm feeling good, wife doesn't notice, I am in the clear. I snored about double the first dose. Mistake. Within 10 minutes I am asleep on the couch. I use asleep with quotations because I was aware but couldn't move. I felt weak and sick. Luckily, my wife is awesome and sat down on the couch and waited for me to feel better before we left for dinner. I assumed what I had found was coke. I have been around it but can honestly say I've never done it. Normal me, I throw this away, but this isn't a normal story. This is a confession. So what? I did it. I snorted a bag of white powder I found in a liquor store parking lot. I wasted a year of math class and I'll fail my next math class because of it. I took Algebra 2 last school year, and I'll be going into pre-calculus in a few weeks. The problem is that I learned nothing in Algebra 2. This was mostly from my own laziness and taking advantage of easy ways to cheat, so I'll have almost no knowledge of how to do anything in pre-calculus. My pre-calc teacher is the exact opposite of my Algebra 2 teacher. He is very strict, orderly, and has a backbone, while my Algebra 2 teacher was a total pushover and I took advantage of that. I feel a lot of guilt for wasting my parents, and my own time, as well as my tuition money. I'm not sure how I'll be able to solve this problem, either through heavy tutoring, but I know that if I take an online course for Algebra 2 I'll just cheat. Just wanted to post this because I don't know where else I can talk about this. I let a man use a dirty hot tub when I was supposed to clean it. I worked at a resort a couple years ago. One of my duties was to clean the hot tubs. I was near the end of my shift when I stumbled upon a hot tub that had really cloudy water. That means it was crawling with all sorts of potentially harmful bacteria. The chlorine levels were pretty low too, which is bad news, but I didn't want to go back to the shop to get chlorine. This was a private hot tub, and the owner was right there working on his unit. I knew I was gonna have to drain this hot tub and refill it, which meant I'd have to work an hour late. I decided I was just gonna take off. The owner even asked, "Is there anything going on with my hot tub I should know about?" I lied and said no. As I was driving away, I saw him climbing into the hot tub. I was tempted to just do the right thing and work late, but I just wanted to go home. I've never heard anything from them guy since, so I assumed he was okay, but IDK. That's probably the scummiest thing I've ever done. I kicked the chair from under my friend and he got in trouble. I was in first grade and was sitting and my friend came to sit down, so I do the obvious thing that any good friend should do and kick the chair at perfect timing, and he sits down. He proceeds to smash his anus upon the floor to add salt to injury. The teacher said he was goofing off and made him sit out of recess for 15 minutes. No one knows I committed that crime, not even my friend. I am the scum of the universe. I lied to my friends saying if I ever did anything wrong in school again I would get expelled. Basically, I wasn't the best kid in school. I did get write-ups and skipped with friends. Until I heard my name on the intercom to go to the office. Turns out I got suspended. My parents are very strict, so they came up to the school and went through the school code of conduct, found out they addressed my suspension wrong and only got 1 day. I had so many write-ups. All the teachers in the school knew me, especially since I had a type 1. I didn't get accepted into any good school, but my parents knew people at a decent school and got me in. But if I slipped up once, I would get rejected. I couldn't tell my friends that because I told them that I got in already, even though I didn't. So I told them that I would get expelled instead of not accepted into a good school to pass the embarrassment, because I've always been in all high-up classes but horrible behavior. Hung around wrong people. They started getting suspicious, so I started getting passes to the bathroom and said I was skipping, but later returned to class, no questions was asked. Long story short, I stopped hanging with the wrong crowd and just accepted that I couldn't keep doing it and just said no.